has never been a more exciting year as we see our efforts reaped results, not only from a numbers perspective, but also the levels of engagement and interest achieved on both international and regional stages.
The word sustainability leads us to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals being worked out and implemented by all member countries around the globe to suit each country's internal needs. However, there are already common issues need to be tackled by all, including this my sector.
A delight to attend this sustainability forum here today. It's been such an impressive event, so well organized, and very happy to see that it has a goal of being I think 90% waste-free event, so everything is beautifully done. And I think it's so important for Thailand and all of the conference and convention operators to become more and more sustainable, because that's really what's better for their business as well as what's really best for the country in terms of preserving the infrastructure and in the environment for future tourism. So we know that many of the purchasers of conference services and hotels are really requiring their suppliers to have sustainability practices. And we also know that it just makes the best business sense in terms of really helping to preserve the infrastructure that is at the heart of the Thai tourism value proposition. So it's been a joy to be here. I hope that I've helped some of the MICE players understand how to better market their sustainability efforts. And that's really all about helping to find the value for your customers. So not making people feel guilty about sustainability or not pulling at their heartstrings, but really showing them the value that it can bring in terms of the different benefits in terms of performance or efficiencies, or having a better experience, a higher quality experience, or even a cooler experience. Because at the end of the day, sustainable conferences and tourism, it's something that's very desirable to people around the world, and I'm very confident that the Thai MICE players will do a really good job.
We are a policymaker organization, and this sector, MICE, the business, has a lot of impact on the economy. As a policymaker, I think we need to understand how does this business sector work, and at the same time, I think the business sector, businessmen in this sector should also know that what the country is going through in terms of policy development, in terms of major programs and projects that will impact the economy and the business in general. So if we can involve in this event, I think we can learn from each other. Policymaker can also formulate policy that will support the business, will be relevant to the situation, whereas at the same time, the business sector can follow the policy direction, can adjust themselves in the policy context, maybe new direction. And if the country is going through a big reform like this time, I think it is very necessary for you to also aware of the changes.
Some of the ways that we can help our industry here in Thailand get better. One of those ways is to really start being very careful in selecting the right materials that you know are able to be recycled at the end of the show. So when you start thinking about putting together a booth or a back wall or a display, that you need to think about what's going to happen to that display after you use it at the show. Think about the full life cycle of the product. So when it's being built, the materials you're using, to when you use it on show site, how it looks for your audience, and then after the show, how it's going to be disposed of or repurposed or reused. Maybe it's donated to someone to reuse again and again and again. So those are the kind of things that I see, is picking the right materials and making sure that you use materials that can be recycled or that biodegrade in the landfill when they go to the landfill. And I'm excited to see that there's going to be some great progress over the next 2 or 3 years. Thank you very much.
I'm pleased and honored to have been here today for this session. What I found very inspiring is how thorough the content has been and has really looked at so many aspects of sustainability, from looking at the strategic aspects to the logistical aspects, and really such a strong commitment looking at all aspects. The areas around food waste were fascinating, looking at how the mice suppliers are supporting the local community, and I'm just really thankful and grateful to have been a part of it today. Thank you.
Today I came to speak about the why of sustainability. So why is sustainability important today? We spoke about why it is good for business, why it's good for corporate culture, and why it's good for our planet, and why venues and especially buildings are increasingly important in Thailand and in the world. Sustainable buildings have very significant environmental benefits, such as reducing energy and waste and CO2 emissions. They also have some social benefits in improving the performance and the productivity of people, the well-being, the health of people, and they have some economic benefits because they enjoy higher occupancy rates, but also asset values and return on investment. Today, Thailand is on the way to become more and more sustainable in their buildings too. There's a prediction that 60% of the buildings by next year will be green buildings here, so I'm looking forward to this.
This conference was about sustainability, and it links really well with TEDx Chiang Mai because we've been running different initiatives and activities at the event to promote sustainability. When you think about it, we have one planet, but right now we behave like we have three. We have one city, Chiang Mai, we have one country, Thailand, and we have this one planet. So I think sustainability is not going to go away. It's just going to become more and more important and also include things like inclusiveness and accessibility for all people in Thailand and the world to be able to participate in the future development of our world. So from the ideas today, I personally heard many good ideas, and I think the audience was able to listen to some very specific and also some more broader ideas on what sustainability means and why it's important. Thank you very much for letting me join today.
A lot of benefit that I got from this meeting is good for the meeting business, because it's not just for the profit, but you have to make it sustainability in the future. So we have to live with the social, and we have to give it back to the community also.
Sustainability for MICE is so important because we bring so many people into Thailand, and in order to sell more MICE events, we need to have a more beautiful Thailand and keep Thailand beautiful and clean. So by ensuring that our conferences, our events are as sustainable as possible is not only a great way to keep Thailand beautiful, but it's a great way to make sure that great MICE events keep coming to us.
By attending this program, I get the knowledge to save our food and how to sustainable to our country. Very appreciate to come here today, and thanks to TCEPS and MICE capability that handle all the beautiful events. I learned a lot new things for the sustainables, and I will start from my company to expanding to the local communities.
This is my first time to attend my sustainability forum, and it really impressed me, and I think this event is a very good way to solve one of the problems in increasing the engagement of people in terms of sustainability, which is awareness. So in this activity, I learned like how to engage myself more, how can I communicate with other people as well as in my workplace on how we can promote and engage ourselves in these business goals, or what we call the sustainability development goals. And what I really like about SDG is like they allow you, or they promote you to assess your company and how you're going to fit on this SDG and how it will eventually help you in the near future.
I met and listened to many of the leaders in sustainable development in which I could use that in order to help develop my courses and also the program. Many of the information are very useful and updated, so this is very good. Thank you very much.
In terms of what was shared today on how to respond to the SDGs, I highlighted some practical steps there about identifying the relevant SDGs and prioritizing those for the companies, and then understanding what goals you want to set around the SDGs, and then engaging with your business partners on how you can actually work with each other to address those SDGs, because the SDGs are too complicated for any one single organization to address by themselves. So I'd encourage members of the MICE community in Thailand to communicate with each other on the goals that you've set, and to also continue working with TCEP on what the overall aspirations are for the industry, and collectively how do you measure the impact that you're creating to the nation, as well as the impact you're creating internally to your own company's value. So hopefully you keep an eye out for the business reporting guide coming out later this year on the SDGs, about how you can actually respond to the SDGs and report those in a consistent manner. Okay, good luck with the journey.